Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Today we will finish up the design of the gamepad and audio. It's like I'm always getting stuck on the intro part of things. I'm sorry about that. Anyways, so we were working on this gamepad, SNES gamepad and NES gamepad pods that are connected to the to this Pmod that is then in turn connected to an FPGA. So I wanted to finish up the design of the SNES pod today and get that knocked out of the park. So let's get to it immediately. So let me show you this desktop. So we were ending at this stage and I was trying to figure out where to mount them correctly. So I wanted this to go into a bulkhead and allow this PCB to be snug into a box. So we were talking about where the PCB should end last stream, like before the very end of this. And I think what I will do is scoot it up so that these ears here, if I show you on the desktop here. So let's see. So you see these are the ears here on the side. So this would go into a bulkhead. So you could have an acrylic sheet or something with a hole and you could snug it up against it. So I think we should have a little bit of a gap from the PCB to the mounting holes for the pegs. So these are the large purple ones. And so I think 0.5 millimeter should be plenty. Oh, apropos fitment. I just I want to share that really quick with you because that if you are not following Blondie Hacks on YouTube and you are into YouTube Blondie Hacks, let's try finding her. Blondie Hacks. So definitely a channel to follow if you are into any mechanical design stuff. She's amazing. And she has a very, very good video about fitment. I learned a lot from that. So these are different grades of how you gauge what the fit is of parts between each other. So, and she does it also with a lot of humor. So I really recommend that video. You should definitely check it out. So that said, now I know that if I have a M3 screw hole, I probably want 0.1 millimeters each side to have it nice and sloppy, and 0.5 millimeters or 0.1 millimeter larger hole if I want some it to fit easily. But yeah, it's like stuff like that where you know like what are the ranges of interesting dimensions, and there are ISO and ISO standards for this, so that's very cool. Anyways, so that was interesting because we were pondering what size of a hole we should have for the mounting pegs, and the same thing for the pins here. So that is really useful to review. Anyways, so I will move this to the side of the board by, this is 0.1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did it go 5? I don't think it went 5. Let's see. Yeah, it didn't move the last step for some reason. Move. There we go. Now it should be there. There we go, 0.5. That is plenty. This is very coarse movement here. All right, so that is the position we want to go for. Then I can, I think, now adjust the outline. I think that is the a reasonable moment to do that. Now I should edge cuts have it on the top here. Is it? Oh, if I drag just on by the trace, it can offset itself somehow. That's interesting. Doop doop doop. Yes, all right. Do we want this ear to just hang out? That's the question, because I need some mounting holes. I think I will drop in a mounting hole here in this corner and a mounting hole here in this corner. I think 2 will be enough. Or the alternative would be to have mounting holes between, like in the center. Any recommendations? Yeah, all right. So that should do this. Am I at the edge here? Oh, interesting. I think this is skewed. Is that not straight here? It's like, is it going just slightly off? Yeah, it is. Interesting. I think that is it. Yeah. On such a long trace, it's really hard to see. Oh yeah, I know what to do. I will click on this. What? Move, and then space to reset my relative coordinate system. And then, yeah, this was still off. No, it is straight. Interesting. Is this not straight? This is probably not straight, is it? Yeah, now it's straight. Weird. Okay. Oh. What's happening here? Why are you being... There we go. That was not aligned for some reason again. Great, great, great. Oh, buses can fly. Welcome. Yeah, we just were talking in your buses can fly is also in Advolcan team. Yay, team. So we were talking about some tools and discussing Blackmagic Probe and Glasgow, and that was very fun. And I mentioned that I'm going to stream, so welcome, welcome. World Killer, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Alrighty, so I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, this is. I think this might be. The most recent interesting thing that happened regarding KiCad is nightly builds have, for pads, they have chamfer options for each corner separately of the pad, which is really cool. So you can have those really annoying pads for QFN that have 3 rounded corners and 1 like straight chamfered corners to like have the gap between the lead frame, which are very annoying, but they do exist in the world. So yeah. Oh, am I off here? I think I'm off here because the bottom is not snug to the edge of the case of the connector. So let's see the dimensions. Let's dimension this. Do we want it to be a nice distance? Yeah, 23 23.5 would be a nice distance, would it? It's nice and round. 23.5. Well, this is then 0.25 on each side. 0.75 on each side. Not that it really matters, because we could go like this, and that is the size of the case itself, of the pin header connector. Yeah, I think we will just go with the 23.4. That's fine. That's fine. It's basically the metric versus imperial stuff again. Why is it twisted again? Why is this not? Oh, because I'm on metric. Fine. I'm on metric grid, not imperial grid. That's why. 0.92 shouldn't be 0.9. Weird. What's happening here? Yeah. All right. So wait. I missed something here. There we go. Oh yeah, buses can fly. Thank you for the follow. Yeah. So that is fine, I guess. I could adjust it, but this is too fiddly. I don't care about that at the moment. All right. So let's do this, and then we can move this. It's just a little bit yak shaving for the outline here, for the board outline. That should go fairly quickly. We should move this one. There we go. Yeah, I learned that I have to take the end handles because it then misaligns stuff. Yeah, so we decided to... Oh, this has to be moved up, right? Yep. There we go. So that is the pour. I think I will get rid of the pour. So the reason is... So it looks like this. It looks like all fleshy if I fill it with copper. So that's the After Dark PCB. And I would like to make it look a little bit nicer. So I think what I will do is just have those bus bars. So if you look at here, yeah, this is the VCC bus bar. And then we have ground. So maybe we should just have a few like thick traces and that's it, instead of filling it with copper all the way. So from the aesthetic standpoint, electrically it doesn't matter really. There we go. There we go. Yeah, so that's nice. Now I'm actually curious how long this thing is now. Long boy. There we go. There we go. Wow, 136 millimeters. Damn, that's huge. Yeah, true, but in this case, for this slow paced, this is, as Sylvain would say, this is DC. Yeah, this, I don't know, what is the clock speed for the shift registers for the gamepads? A megahertz, maybe 2 at most. It's DC. So yeah, I don't think this, yeah, sure. I hear you, but I don't think this really matters in this case. Much longer than that, yeah. True, true. Totally true. So yeah, that does not matter. So, and also we have I didn't even populate those capacitors. It's like there's even footprints for capacitors here on the pods. I didn't bother populating them. I just put them in there for good measure. If we find out that they are necessary, but otherwise, eh. Yeah, that will be fine. The distance to the edge is still over a millimeter. For a PCB, that is plenty. I think the plastic will break before the PCB breaks there. Also, it is soldered on the back with pretty sturdy metal pieces. It's like, look at those pins. It's like they are. I can play a tune on this, on the legs of this thing. Yeah, so this is a chunker. I am not concerned with mechanical on this. We do want to retain it so that it doesn't like flop up, so you don't rip it out of the PCB by twisting, but I don't think the PCB will break. And like 1 millimeter of FR4 material is pretty sturdy actually. So yeah. Yeah, the lessons we learn where it's like, yeah, so yeah, at some point you realize I have my bailout footprints on this PCB where it's like I will definitely not need them, but I rather have them than not have them. So yeah, that's totally a thing. Yeah, I could make this distance smaller instead of having the 0.5 millimeter here. So as far as I can tell, the whole distance here is 1 millimeter now. So I could make it bigger than 1 millimeter. Oh, Twonsky, you have to... There is high-speed stuff on that PCB. Yeah, you were certain until you needed them. Yeah, especially it's the surprisingly, so having so many long traces with like the 4 or 5 kilohertz PWM for the LEDs is also interesting. And then you have SPI, right? You have pretty fast SPI going to the driver chips. So that is probably the fast part. And then I don't know what you are doing for the matrix scanning. That is probably not that fast because it's just an atmega. So that was the problem that this keyboard had. So this has also 1 atmega to run the keyboard, but the matrix scanners are in separate chips. So there are dedicated atmegas, small atmegas to do the matrix scanning, because otherwise the main CPU would be just completely slammed with the matrix scanning. So that is why this has such an interesting architecture of 1 main chip doing the keyboard and USB related stuff, and then 2 dedicated matrix scanners. Yeah, I think this is faster. I think this has faster scan rate. The reason why you want a high-speed scan is to do debouncing. The problem you do run into with mechanical keyboards is chatter of the buttons. So you do want implement a capability for debouncing, and for that to work well, you need really high-speed scanning of the matrix. So 100 hertz is very slow. I think you would want something faster so that you have a decent response time and still can do debouncing software. So yeah, that's why my dream. God, I'm going on a complete tangent here, but my dream of building a keyboard controller with an FPGA that has the matrix scanning built in and scans the keyboard at such high speed that we can do very fine-grained debouncing capabilities. So that's my like idea. Also, what it would allow is other modes of scanning in the FPGA, like having capacitance buttons and stuff like that. So yeah. Yeah, slower pick. Yeah, of course we will see. It's always a learning curve. It's like I'm not trying to discourage you. I'm just giving my useless 5 cents about your project. I'm sorry. So yeah. Oh yeah, the QMK for your QMK. Yeah, so the 54 kilohertz. Yeah, that sounds more in the realm of what I was thinking. Yeah, that's much more reasonable there. Yeah, I can imagine that you could do 100 scans per second if you add some electrical debouncing type of stuff. Maybe there is a way of adding like capacitance or resistance on the scan lines or something. I would imagine there is some analog electronics approach to that problem. So yeah, anyways. Keyboards. We are actually doing something along keyboard thing with the gamepad. So yeah, they don't chatter as much because they are rubber on pad. So yeah. Ah, I see. Okay, minimum. Okay, got it. I hear you. Okay, so. Electronic EO like did give me a little bit of a question here. Should I just have 0.1 millimeter this hang out on the side? I think I should. I should just move it back by 0.4. What? I didn't mean to. One up. There. Move. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is still has distance. Why did I? Oh, right. Correct. So yeah, I moved this edge of the board up. So that's the problem. So I do have space to move it back 0.5 millimeter. That's plenty. I think that will work. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 0.4 millimeter out. So we have now 1.5 millimeter meat here. 1.3. What is what here? I think the hole is here in between, right? 0.4. Yeah, that will be better. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, 1 kilohertz scanning. Yeah, I don't know. This is actually what the keyboard I/O is doing. 2, 3, 4, 5. What the scan rate is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They did have issues with bouncing of the buttons, unfortunately. So that was a thing. What's going on here? Why was that not aligned? That's weird. There we go. That's better. Move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that aligned? Yes. There we go. Then we want mechanical holes, and this is something I'm not sure about. Should I just maybe 1, 2, and 3 on the back? Will that be enough, or should I have them in the center? What makes more sense? 1, 2, 3, like center holes for mounting of this in a case. This will be probably easier to balance because this will flap if I just connect it here. So yeah, let's put in this is an APA 102 LED strip that I got together with from the what is it called? I keep forgetting, because the controller is the Electromage, whatever the board is. I'm forgetting the name. It's Toasty, actually. Interesting. So yeah, sorry. I will look it up in a second for you. I did get it from the same store as there. Yeah, no, totally. But yeah, they're at Tiny's. I'm not sure what the scanning rate is, but the at Tiny's are dedicated to just that task. They are just dedicated scanners with like serial interface or I2C output or something. So they do the debouncing in the matrix scanners, I think. But yeah, I have to look it up. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, that's every Tuesday you end up teasing me with good extractor coffee. So yeah. Welcome, Sherbrand. AKA Jared, nice to have you here. Okay, so where was I? Mounting holes, mechanical. Mounting equipment, mounting hole, 0.3, M3. Let's see if that fits. It would fit here. So maybe we should just plop them in here. It will be tight between the connectors. Or won't it? No, it will be fine. So let's see. This would be the center of the PCB, actually. So that's not bad. There we go. So that's good. Yeah, and let's put 3 of them in here. There we go. This is the center, I think. Yep. Is this the center? Can I even hit it? Jesus. There you go. Let's use space for this, just to make sure. So that's the 0. Yeah, that works. This should move and see. This is 0.1. Oh, there we go. Now it is correct. And duplicate. Yeah, there we go. Height. 0. There we go. There we go. Yeah, it's the model 01. All right, so now that I have the mounting holes, I have to add 2 things. First thing is lock it in place so that it doesn't get removed when I update the PCB, because they're free floating. Then edit footprint and remove the reference. This one, backspace, this one, chunk, fab, okay. PCB, there we go, that's one. I should have done that before copying them. Lock footprint, edit footprint, chunk, delete, and fab, okay, update. Yeah, I can't just copy those parameters between the manually placed footprints, I think. If there is, I don't know about it. It's like the modified footprints too. I would have to like copy paste them. There we go, done. All right, I need a very short break. I'll be right back, and I will look up the LED strip stuff for you in a second, and the keyboard. All right, so just give me a second, be right back. There we are. All right, so I wanted to look up really quick for you the LED strip stuff. I'm pretty sure I got it as part of the Tindy thing. Electromage is Pixel Blaze. There we go. So Pixel Blaze is what is running on what is the controller here. So I'm just making sure that I'm showing the correct thing. So that is this thing, and it's really neat, and it's on Tindy, and I got the LED strip I think from there, and it was the APA 102 60 per meter or 144 per meter. No, I think this was 144 per meter. 1 meter strip. Yeah, that's 1 meter. Yeah, that's it. So that's this one. That's the APA 102, and that's for a project that we are working on in the background. Hopefully, eventually, it will happen with the iCEBreaker Bitsy and iCEBreaker. Like get the 1D dungeon twang game implemented. That is the goal here. So that's why this is actually even here originally. So yeah. Okay, so back to the main topic. So I did lock them down. Oh, and the keyboard, right. The keyboard, I wanted to look this up. Just a second. So they are currently sold out, the Model 1s. Yeah, they are currently sold out, but they are working on the new version of the keyboard, and I would assume that you should be able to find them on eBay, because some people are selling them because it's not a keyboard for everyone. Let's see, I'm actually curious now. Let's see if that comes up with anything. Buttons. Well, I have buttons. Interesting. I would have expected to find it somewhere, at least one here on eBay. Cool, interesting. Yeah, well, it's you might want to set up a search, and if you actually want to buy one used, or ask in the Keyboard.io forum. So if there is a Discord for Keyboard.io, and there is a forum, and you could ask there. Oh yeah, on the forum, yes. So yeah, I would post it on the forum that you're interested in it, or just keep watching the forum. Someone will bring it up and post it. I probably will eventually sell off one of my keyboards, because I want to upgrade it to the new model, because I want to try it out and see how that goes, and I don't need 4 of the Keyboard.ios. So some of them will eventually be sold off, and it's like I have replacement keys for it, so they will be nice and shiny and clean, and all the button switches are cleaned and relubricated and stuff. So I did put some effort into my keyboard, so they should be in a good shape, or are in a good shape. I use it. So yeah. All right. So back to the show. So let's move the player icons. I think that should be it. Jalon SE, welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow. Yeah. I'm trying to think, should I? Data, ground. Data. How did I do this on these? I think I ran the data and clock stuff on the top of the board. Anyway, so I will move these. Should we just plop it in here? This is on the back of the board, so it's not... Yeah, let's just do this. That's probably a fine spot to put these. No one will ever use these, but we have them. Let's keep them. It's just a footprint. Like this. I love channeling my Bob Ross. It's like, whatever makes you happy, put it here, just gently. It's fun. It's like a little bit like this. Oh yeah. There is a Twitch channel for Bob Ross where they are just marathoning Bob Ross painting. It's just the best. I remember this was running on TV at night in Germany. When it's like my parents left the house and I was like, oh, I will just watch TV all night and fall asleep on the couch or something. And then it's like Bob Ross just running on a channel, on a German channel. It's just the best. Such good memories. So is that correct that this is player 1 actually? GPD 0, yes, that's player 1. Good. I should have gotten a 0 here, space. There we go. 0 reference. 0. There we go. Player 2. Player 3. Yeah, we should do the traces, right? Before I put the labels on. But somehow I gravitated towards these. Come on, you can do it. Yeah, exactly. That's what we do. Just a little bit sprinkles. But I'm not Dutch, so it's like sprinkles are not natural to me. Yeah, I love this. It's like the sprinkles for bread for breakfast. I had no idea until fairly recently that it is a thing. Fairly recently, like, I don't know, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, when I went to Holland and visited some friends, and they were like, here, breakfast, do you want some sprinkles? And I'm like, what is this? Isn't that for cakes? All right, so yeah, let's do the traces. Let's not postpone even further. 0.2, yeah, 0.2 is fine. VCC will be on the back, correct, yes. So let's just do this. This should be straight because that's a bus here. Yeah, I will straighten them out, don't worry. So what you don't want to do, it's a prejudice. It's not really an issue anymore. It's like the acid trap stuff. But yeah, I still like doing this, like where you... Why didn't it connect? That's weird. Like this. Oh, because I'm not in the trace mode or something? I should be in trace mode. Yes, I am. Cool. Interesting. Then move this with you. There we go. But still, it's that makes me happier, you know. Okay, so we still need the latch to go to all of them. And VCC will go on the back, so it doesn't matter. So I can do this. How did I do this on this one? I'm still confused. Did I just go the other? Oh yeah, because I could feed it between them. Right. GPD. So what I could do is go like this and then feed it through here. Do a zigzag like this. Yeah. And then GPD will be always exposed. Like this. And then I can do this and this. Because VCC and ground will go on the back of the board. So I don't care about this being cut off. And this will be fine too. Like move it into the center here to make it equidistant. Equidistant. There we go. Let's give it a little bit more air. There we go. There we go. Very nice. And then we should do this, which is 1 and 2. Should it go? 2, 3, and 4. There we go. Do we want to do anything with this here? Yeah, I should probably just move this away from the circle here, because there might be a... Let's do something like this. Yeah, let's do this weird thing here. Let's move this one so that it is... Unless we do this. Yeah, let's do that. That's better, I think. Yeah, I don't... You might want to like have some grabby washer or something. So I rarely have the luxury of so much space on a PCB. So like getting the traces away from that ring where you could have a washer and like cut into the traces is, yeah, it's a rare opportunity that I will take this time. So yeah, this is still not working because I am still... There we go. That's better. Something like that. And then we want to move this one. There we go. Okie dokie. That's fine. I think that's not touching the circle. That's good too. Good, good, good. That looks good. Now we need to do the backside with the traces. So let's edit predefined sizes. We want, what do we want? 0.5 millimeter? We do 0.5, 0.5. Let's do that. That's nice and chunky. And then page down like this. And then the back, connect these. There we go. And now we want, how do we do this? Will this actually fit here? Yes, it will. Very good. So we can go with VCC on the, oh, maybe it makes more sense to have ground on the top, but then I have to Yeah, no, 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 no. I will go with the ground like this. Wow, this will be... I'm not sure this is the greatest idea here. To have such a huge trace connected here, but I don't think it really matters. Oh, I'm still in the realm. Oh yeah, I should do this lower here so that I can clear the holes here. And then I can do VCC from the top. Something like that, so I can connect it to the last one. Yeah, like yeah, no, it doesn't matter. It's on the top anyways. Like this, like this. There we go. One. Oh, this one was off, wasn't it? I just saw it. Move. Yep, now it is correct. There we go, much better. There we go. Dun, dun, dun. Ground, ground. Yeah. Oh yeah, I wanted to delete the copper fill. Correct. There we go, now it's gone. And I wanted to move this track lower. Let's do something like that. Now it is clearing, I think. Yes, it is. Good, good, good. Then I can go like that. Ba-bam. Nice and straight. Nice and straight. And nice and straight. There we go. And the VCC needs also connections. There we go. Come on, why are you being a jerk here? Come on. No, no, not you. You. There we go, that's correct. And then in between here. There we go. Nice, nice, nice. Why don't have I... Oh, did I forget to connect all the latches together? That's weird. For some reason, I didn't connect this together. How did that happen? I don't know. There we go. Oh, that doesn't need it. Now we need the clock to be connected. There we go, now it's correct. Reststrahlen, welcome. Welcome to the stream. And thank you, I'm glad you like it. I guess you are assuming you're talking about what I'm building here. hope it is good. Yeah. Unable to find segment endpoint. Oh, God. Outlines being annoying. But we have everything routed. That was quick, as I expected. We still need to add the labels on the silk screen. A simple thing like this board, it still took us, what, 2 hours to lay out the pod? It's like the, apropos my earlier rant about like how much effort things take. Like the simplest thing, and it's like after I'm done with the stream, I will still have to spend probably another hour like making sure all the Gerber files are exported correctly, submit them to the order, and then order the stuff, order the parts, then assemble them, test them. The simplest thing, the simplest adapters takes hours and hours of work. I'm not even talking about a complex board at all. All right, so that's fixed. And that's just hardware, not even software, as we talked about. Anyways, makes me think about it. Yeah, the rounding here. Well, it's not round, it's the connector there. Edge cuts. I was reviewing other stuff. It's that's what was happening. I think that might have not been on the grid somehow. Let's see, what is the coordinates? 37, 3, 37, 64, 37, 64, 37, 37, 60, 64. Yeah, this is still in this corner. 64. Still not overlapping here. Interesting. This should be aligned. This should be aligned. Let's see. Let's try it again. Yeah, 37, 64. Yeah, still broken for some reason. Is this being problematic here? Oh, what? Oh, why is this off? This was like off by a tad. There we go. That should do it. That should do it. Let's see. Yeah, 174, 64. 174, 64. It's probably here, 174, 64. So this one. Yeah, it has the same issue. Yeah, it's like off the grid by a very small amount. So weird. Okay, let's try it again. 3962. Oh, I did, yeah, okay. 3962. Yep, you are correct, thank you. There we go. Yeah, there's an outline. Looks correct now. Wee. Wee, little piggy. Very good. My little slab pod. Very good. So that's done. So now let's polish it by adding labels to the pins on the back, because I want them labeled nicely. These are labeled already, so that's good. Player 1, 2, 3, 4, that's all we need on the top. And then we need the label and name and whatever. Okay, so let's do that. Will this fit somewhere? Yeah, let's just put it here. There's plenty of space. Something like that. That looks good. Then we can put this one, move, rotate, 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 rotate. Let's put it in the same spot. It's fine, I think. And then we want to move this. Yes, move it, move. That's the logo. Let's put it here on top of each other. Yeah, I think that will be fine. Unless we put it here, yeah. Let's do this. That's fine. Maybe centered is better. Yeah. Okay. So let's do this. Move it. Yes. Rotate, rotate. We can overlap it nicely. And then flip it. We need this on the back. And then move. Yes, move. There we go. I think that will be fine. This is nicely centered on the PCB, on the front and the back. That should do the job. Logo, copyright and whatever, description, and the back fits nicely too. Very good. Now we need the naming of the signals for reference. Oh yeah, we should move these. Move. Can I flip it in the X? No, I can't. Okay, so like this. Player 1, player 2. Like this. Adjust, adjust. Good. SSCon1, welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Kirainate, I'm not sure I said hello to you. Welcome to the stream. Hello, hello. I might have said hello already, but maybe I didn't. All right, so yeah, we still don't have a 3D model for those connectors, and I'm not feeling like making them. If I find a 3D model for this connectors, or someone feels super excited to make one, feel free. These are the standard connectors that you can find on eBay and AliExpress and whatnot. So it's not like they're rare, but I have not seen a 3D model for it, unfortunately. And I don't feel like drawing one at the moment. Okay, so we have this. Now we need the signals. We have a quick drink first. Wow, I was thirsty. Yeah, I feel that I'm getting a headache from dehydration, unfortunately, so I have to be careful. There we go. Happens to me very quickly, unfortunately. All right, so we need this. Let's see. We should be able to just do something like this. Center. I wish I could group edit this. Can I do that? I could do edit. Yeah, I can't. Can I change this in the menu? Yeah. Yeah, and it's like, and I have AC. The problem is ACs dry out the air so much that if I'm just speaking for hours like I do now and don't drink properly, which I forget, then I dehydrate. It's not just, essentially, I recreated Las Vegas experience for myself. Great. Yeah, it's like my own DEF CON. This is what I associate with DEF CON with is headaches, massive migraine level headaches. Yeah, I don't see create and duplicate, move, flip. I can only flip them. So I would have to edit them one by one. I can't just like switch them all to center. Why? It's annoying. Center should be able to center them. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know that feeling where it's like you dehydrate, but it's like you don't even realize that you sweat out a ton of water. So yeah, I know that, can relate. There we go. Oh, I have to rotate them, right? Oh, a story. So I did not mention that before. I started learning Morse code. So there are several models of learning Morse code, but I found a really cool app for the iPhone called Turtle something. What is it called? Morse Toad. Morse Toad. That's the name. Yeah, I can recommend that. It's pretty cool. It gamifies the learning of Morse code using this like listening model, where you listen to full speed 20 CPM Morse code letters, and then you have to like understand them. So you learn the rhythm of those instead of just learning the dots and dashes, counting them, and then still not understanding a word. Oh, this doesn't fit. That's annoying. What if, do I have to move this to the side now? Like this? Will that work? Let's see if the clock will fit here. Anyways, so I started training that, and it really shows that I don't have musical training. If I had musical training, it would be so much easier, because like recognizing rhythms would be so much easier if music was more like easier to parse for my brain by having some music understanding. But yeah, it's very cool. It's actually a lot of fun to do that, and it's surprisingly tiring. I essentially like do it for a little bit, learn a few more letters, like get through the 90% understanding thing for the next exercise. So I have to wind back the day after to like start earlier and redo. But after doing a few letters, your brain just, like my brain just shuts down and it's too tired to like distinguish certain letters from each other. But yeah, I'm making progress. I'm definitely making progress. There's also this other page by Google, like a Google Play thing. Let me show you that really quick. It was some Google thing. With Google, there we go. So this thing. So this is a website that teaches the other way around, not by understanding, but by generating Morse code. So what you do, you have those two buttons for dot and dash, and then essentially it creates those mnemonics with like pictures for dot and dash. That helps a lot for you to remember what the code is, what the like combination of dots and dashes is. So I did that for a little bit, and then also the other model. So the combination of the two like results in a fairly good experience of doing that. So yeah, a thing I thought you might find interesting. All right, so now let's see how that looks. Latch clock, GPDI 0. So yeah, I think that should be fine. And now I can take that text pattern and just copy it over to the other buttons, the other connectors. Amiga Live, welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow. Clock is, what? Oh yeah, you're right. I didn't even notice. That's great. Thank you. Like dyslexia, yes. Dyslexia is great. I love my dyslexia. It's just like, yeah, error correction cranked up to 11. Stop messing with me. I do see that error there. Yeah, it took a lot of training now. It's my parents put a lot of effort into exercises and stuff so that I'm not completely useless. So yeah, it is a thing. You can train this, but it takes a lot of effort. I'm definitely making way less mistakes in English than I do in German, for example, which is weird. Even it's not my first language, and I make less mistakes in English. Polymath Engineer, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. It's like these what are they called? This disability, some people call it, but it's like it's just different. You just parse things differently, and it it's just the school system is not made for them to be like usable for you. But abstract thinking, for example, it's like with my dyslexia, it's so much easier than others. I didn't even realize it until much later in my life, where it's like abstract like interpretation of abstract concepts, and it's like I create those pictures and images in my head, which I thought was normal, but that's not normal for everyone. Like being able to take a piece of flow in code, for example, and like imagine what it does in your head, it comes easier to some than others, but it's like the dyslexic people usually have an easier time doing that, because this is the same type of the same parts of your brain that you have to train to compensate for other things. So you train that part of your brain more than other people would have to. So for that particular application, it's easier to use. So it's like it really depends on what it is. It's like some people have problems with geometry that have dyslexia, others don't. I'm actually very good at geometry, or was in school at least. So that came easily to me, but it really is a nuance of how it manifests itself, what like actually the difference in your brain structure is. So yeah, interesting stuff. All right, so we have the labels, and we should move the, is that the origin for the origin there? Yeah, 3D models or abstract structures in code and stuff. Yeah, you can think about these things. That too, yeah. I think it's a lot of, you can train these things. It's like it is coming, like writing and reading for someone with dyslexia comes harder, but you train, like you compensate with other parts of your brain, and then other things come easier because of that. That's my take, how I understand how it works. It's like I'm not a psychologist, so don't take my advice. But yeah, programming did help. For me, it was mostly chat, like sitting on IRC and talking to people. That helped a lot also with English. That improved my English a lot by having to chat online in English. As you might realize, English is not my first language at all. My first language is Polish, the second is German, and then English. Data pin labels. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Sorry. Thanks. Two. Yeah, I got distracted by my own thoughts and almost forgot. Polyglot. Yeah, well, this it wasn't really by choice. It's like being in different countries, and so yeah, I was, until I was 12 years old, I was in Poland. Then we moved to Germany, and I went to school there, so I had to learn German there. And in school there, you have to learn a foreign language, which is usual choice. The first foreign language is English. You can take French and Spanish sometimes. And then in German school, you take two foreign languages. So my other foreign language was French, so I had to learn French. And my mom is Spanish and French teacher, so she did speak to me Spanish a lot when I was a kid. So I do have like basic understanding of Spanish, but she dropped it when we moved to Germany. So her argument was like, I don't want to overwhelm you with too many languages. And it's like, I think at the end, it probably was a mistake. because as a kid it comes much easier and you can learn a lot of languages by just osmosis. Bueno, gracias. Yeah. Anyways, it's fun. I like languages. I didn't like them when I was learning them in school. It was as a kid you don't get these things. But yeah, now I'm happy it happened to me. So All right. So I think we are done, aren't we? Yeah, and perfectly on time too. 3 p.m. So yeah. I think we are good. Let's see. So that is the last pod that we had to make. That's for the NES controllers. Link Gamer, welcome. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, very good. A, pozdrawiam do Polski też, pozdrowienia. Miło widzieć tutaj trochę Polaków z Polski też. Yeah, anyways, so yeah, it's nice. It's nice to know some languages, but yeah, I mostly use English these days, especially for streams. But yeah, when I call my parents, I talk Polish with my mom and my dad. That was the right choice there. All right, so that is done now. We have the additional Pmod. So what we did is, this is the third pod. Flames FTS, thank you for the follow, welcome. So let's see, desktop. So this is what we made in a previous stream. So this is the Pmod that connects to the iCEBreaker, connects gamepads for the SNES, NES systems, which are basically shift registers, onto this connector. And then I made these pods so you can decide what connection you want. So this is basically just pin headers, essentially. This is the Molex ST or something connection system. So if you have like cheapo knockoff controllers and you happen to basically cut off the connector so that you can use it on a breadboard, you can use this pod later on to connect it. Then this is SNES controller, and we made now the pod for the NES, so Nintendo Entertainment System, so NES connector. That is the last pod we made, and I made the change here to add pull down resistor so we can detect if the connector is connected or the pod is connected. So how this works, the nice thing about this, you can connect one pod here, one pod on the second connector here, and so on, and have whichever combination of controllers connected with different connectors, and they are all just hooked up over the ribbon cable. So it becomes this very versatile connection system. You can't, of course, have the same gamepad, like on two connectors have the gamepad connected, because you would get a congestion on the data pin. That won't work. But you can have one pod gamepad connected on the first pod, then on the second port here, and then on the third port. So it is still pretty flexible. And then we have the audio output, which just FYI, there's DDR or DRR. Dan Rodriguez, he's working on his retro-inspired game console design for the iCEBreaker, so this will be audio. Where to plug in the Bluetooth gamepads? You take a Bluetooth controller for a Bluetooth gamepad, like the 8-bit DO, right? And you plug it in here into this, and you're good. Da-da-da! So what would be really cool is actually to have also a pod that is just a Bluetooth device that can connect multiple gamepads, Bluetooth gamepads, to to just as a pod. That would be really neat. So if someone is working on the ESP32 gamepad receiver, that would be the perfect interface to connect to. So just output multiple parallel streams of data out of here on the ESP32 or something. So yeah, but for now, I think we're done with this, and I will order the new version of the mainboard and a few pod PCBs. I think I should probably order some connectors so that we have at least this as a kit. This will come into the store in a very small quantity. I don't think this has... I'm glad to be positively surprised that there is more demand for this kind of stuff. But for now, we will just make a small batch and make it available to those that are designing stuff for game consoles for FPGA. So that will be really cool. Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much it for today. That was a lot of fun, went pretty quickly. I'm not sure what we will be working on next week, but definitely there will be something interesting to work on. I hope that this week I will finalize Glasgow to make order the prototypes. That's my main highest priority thing to do this week. So I will do that. If there is still some work to be done on the design next week on Tuesday, we will stream that because I need to use every spare minute to get that done. And I'm sure Electronic Eel will agree. So we will finalize this. We might do something different, like more of a tutorial thing, go through certain stack of software, maybe show off the open source FPGA toolchain again, like more structured description of which parts come together, what does what, how they plug in together, because that's something Go Jimmy Pie requested, and several people on Twitter said that was a good idea. So maybe we can make more of a tutorial stream next week. It depends on how things work out. I will definitely announce it on Twitter and on Discord in the streaming channel. If you have ideas and recommendations, feel free to let me know. I am always happy to hear them. Also, if you have, during the week, you find some interesting news related to electronics, FPGA, open source tools, open source hardware, feel free to send me a message, DM or on Twitter or whatever. I do collect stuff for the community update segment that is before this main stream. So always feel free to send me some interesting tidbits that I might have missed during the week. I try to keep up with everything and share those news with you. So you can see those recordings later. I will make this into an archive and post it on YouTube and on Diode Zone and here on Twitch as a highlight. So you will be able to watch this later on. Yeah, again, as always, thank you very much for everyone who is I should be back. Am I back? Audio should be back. Yep, very good. Yeah, the batteries ran out in the in the microphone. I'm sorry. I checked it if it was what the status of the batteries was before the stream, but it seems that it was not thoroughly enough. So yeah, anyways, where was I? I was saying, yeah, thank you for everyone who is supporting this. Thank you everyone who is buying stuff from 1bit2. It really helps a lot. So check out the 1bit2 store. If you find something useful there, like the Blackmagic probe, the iCEBreaker FPGA, or the Orange Crab FPGA, or other Pmods, like we have a lot of interesting stuff in there. Apropos that, I now got parts for the conversion boards for reflow ovens, so I will assemble some of them and put them in the store. So now you will be able to get the thermocouple conversion boards from 1bit2. So that's something several people were asking for, so I will finally make them available. So that will happen. And yeah, again, also thank you very much for everyone who is a Patreon. The Patreons really are very helpful. Thank you so much for being supporting this. I really appreciate this. Again, it's always voluntary. I really appreciate everyone who is here, not just those that are putting money in the jar. That's not why I'm doing it. I want to interact with the community. I want to share what I'm doing. I want to, and being here is incredibly valuable, like taking part in this and talking to me and being part of the streams. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And last but not least, of course, I want to give shout out to those that are my Patreons in the shout out tier, as always. So thank you so much. Jamin, Aki Van Ness, Ben Vanek, Brandon Ashton, Drew Fustini, Edward Borden, Go Jimmy Pie, Jeff Wang, Jonas Kudat, Jordi Parky Rodriguez, Kelly, Matthias Schmider, Matthias Pritchett, Miha Benovets, Sid Price, Tom Keddy, and Sean C. So thank you very much, everyone. I hope to see you next week on Tuesday, as always. And as per usual, thank you very much. And if you have been, thank you for watching. Bye.